Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. You guys are the best. Oh my gosh, yes, I would love to share. And thank you so much for that beautiful, warm welcome. I have had my business for, oh gosh, over 10 years now. I'm gonna maybe even like longer. I'm getting old. But it really has evolved over time, which I think probably everyone listening can totally appreciate and understand, right? Like our businesses grow and evolve with us in such an organic way. And so it really started in the beginning, I was a celebrity stylist, and I was really excited about getting onto the red carpet and helping these celebrities with these big designer like names. And it was all about the glitz and the glam. And it was such a big moment for me to be in that space. And when I finally got there, it was like, it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, you know, because these celebrities, they were showing up and they were doing their job, which is beautiful, but that's all it was for them. Like the clothes, like it was just a job. And what I really realized from my early age, because it helped me so much, is that I used style as a tool. And I could really appreciate the transformative power that I had in my own life to help me feel more confident showing up in a body that maybe I didn't feel that confident in, or in situations where I felt a little bit like a fish out of water, you know? And putting on clothing that really helped me feel like my best version was almost like, I don't want to say like an armor, but it was like an energetic upgrade, an energetic hug that really just like held that space for me to step into the room and show up more confidently as myself. And so I was really missing that piece, that connection as a celebrity stylist. So I went back to school and I got educated as a clinical counselor because I was looking for the connection between like visual communication and and styling. And so I started doing personal styling work, and it evolved into style coaching. And then I started working with entrepreneurs in this space. And the most beautiful things started to happen. I started to see this transformation that I had felt myself and wasn't able to really put into words yet, like how incredible it could be for someone, because this was happening on such a bigger level. It was happening in a way where they were afraid to get visible, and putting on these clothes was helping them shift into this persona that helped them really visually communicate to people like who they wanted to be seen as. And it was just like I couldn't go back. And so that's where it started. Like that's where this online journey started, and it's what led me to you. Oh my gosh, it was hard. It was really hard to get into that place. It is all, at least at the time, I'm sure it's still the same. I mean, it's been a long time, right? But at the time, it was really about like who you knew, and then creating and cultivating connection, and then becoming like a really trustworthy person, because you really do have to be in situations where people don't like don't want their dirty laundry aired, right? And styling is a really intimate process anyway. Like with just you and me, like we're dealing with all sorts of things, and then add that extra layer of celebrity onto it as well. And there's a lot of added pressure that comes to it. So it started off with a connection with another stylist. I was assisting with them. And then I was working on like music videos, and I was working on red carpets, and I was a part of like a big team where I got all of the accessories and went from like designer location to designer location to like pick things up for them. And it just grew and evolved from there as I became more of it like a trusted name in the space. No, 100%. Very adaptable. You have to like really create this space. You know, you have to hold space for everyone. And It it is totally something wild to navigate, you know, going from one person to the next. And it's not even just in the celebrity space, it is dealing with celebrity, but it's also dealing with the production crew. It's also dealing with like the other like beauty, the glam, you know. So it's like everybody has their own vision. And so you have to navigate all of that to try to bring it together. Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah. You know, that's such a great distinction, and I would love to talk about it. I really think it was more a disillusionment on my end, you know, and it's really a like a broad that is like a broad statement that I made. I am sure not every person sees it that way, but like not every person that I styled in the celebrity space was super excited about clothes, you know, like they weren't like drooling and excited about like all of the cool designer pieces that I was bringing them. Like it that was not that was part of the gig for them. And in a way for entrepreneurs too, like I know I felt that, like I did not necessarily want to step into the spotlight. I was so much more comfortable supporting people behind the scenes. Like I still love to be like someone's style cheerleader, you know. I'm not necessarily like dying to create a ton of content on social media, you know? And so in that sense, you're totally right. Where it is important for us to see it as like it's a part of the gig, you know, like we've got to put on this this polished brand persona in order to represent like how we want to be seen in the space that we want to take up in the world for our clients. um, but I was really missing like the joy that people had when they were getting dressed, and I felt like that was not so present in that space. It was less about it was less about like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so good in this. I've never felt this good in my clothes before." And I have a really like, I'll just toot my own horn here. I have a really like good gift and I can visually help someone put like something together that they have never felt comfortable in, or they come to me and they're like, "Wow, I've really just always wanted to wear this and I just never knew how to make it work for my body." And in like you know, a minute, I can help them figure out the right shape, the right color, the right whatever to help them finally wear the thing that they've never been able to wear their whole lives. And so that's the piece that I was missing right there. It was just like the joy of getting dressed and using clothes. Yes, yes, you totally nailed it. I think that we often, as entrepreneurs and as like whatever is, going on in your life, like as a busy mom or like a million different hats that you're wearing throughout the day, like gosh, you hit decision fatigue. Like it's hard to then look into your closet. I mean, that old axiom that people say, like, I have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. Like people say it for a reason. Like everybody says it because we feel overwhelmed when we look at this like huge amount of clothes in our closet and we have no idea what to wear. And so of course you're going to grab that same like tried and true t-shirt or sweatshirt and the same leggings because you're like, well, it'll play, like it worked and I'm not going to go anywhere and I'm not going to see anybody and it'll be fine. But when we're entrepreneurs and like you said, when we've transitioned our life and our business and now we're coming into this whole new stage of life and like personhood, we're not that same person, but we're still showing up in that same way. And so we're calling in like a mismatch of energy. So I like to call it aligning your style from the inside out. And gosh, it is so important. And it is nice to have a guide, right? To cut down on that decision fatigue to help you figure out like, oh, I can wear that thing. And then it becomes so much easier. Like it doesn't have to be so hard to figure out what to wear. And you don't have to, gosh, I think like social media stylists and like fashion influencers have been simultaneously awesome for people to like learn style tips and like to see different bodies represented and also like making things so much harder than they need to be. Really what we need to figure out is how we want to represent ourselves and then get it like a clear plan, like with a stylist or whatever, to help you find the things to bring into your world and then just make it easier. Like we create outfit formulas that are easy to plug and play for your photo shoots, for everyday life, so you can get visible and you're not like hiding behind your computer screen because you don't feel like your best version. Like what I put on today is so easy, but it looks polished. It's just like a mesh shirt. Like it's comfortable, it's stretchy, it's breathable, but it makes me feel instantly elevated because it's a fun color and it feels like my brand vibe. It's just such an easy shift to have things in your closet that work for your lifestyle, that feel like you. And then, oh my gosh, like things just change so much easier. Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I first have to just say you're not alone. It's like a legitimate fact that women only wear 80% of what's in their closet. Like, isn't that wild? So you're not alone. You're right. We're all a little overwhelmed by what's hanging in there. And I think the best thing to do is to first, with every client, this is where I start. I ask, like, how do they want to be seen? And really, we're looking for just like a list of adjectives, like I want to be approachable. I want people to see me as like warm. Like you're just describing who you are as a person and like what you want people to know about you. And so then it becomes a little bit easier because we're like removing style, right? We don't have to worry about the trends and is it going to like work for me and is it going to look good on me and am I going to look trendy and am I going to like look classic? Actually, I don't really want to worry about trends, like there's a million things like on loop in your head. And so if you can start to paint a picture of how you want people to perceive you, because it's how you really want to be seen yourself. Then I ask my clients to come up with 3 words that are going to represent that. So for me, my style is bohemian, a little bit edgy, and effortless. And so these words will mean different things to different people, so it's important for you to define them for yourself. But for me, like bohemian means like color and pattern and mixing prints and textures. Effortless works with my lifestyle. Like I want to be able to be comfortable. Like I really want to have low effort. Like I'm not a huge strapless bra girl. Like I don't really want a low back, so things like that. Um, and then edgy, like I want a part of what I'm wearing every day to feel a little bit sexy, a little bit edgy. So like today I'm wearing a lime green, like daisy print mesh top, but it's mesh, right? It's see-through. So it has like that playfulness that I enjoy, but it also has a little bit of that edge that I can play up. And so if you think about it in that way, it becomes a little bit less daunting. So now you have something to characterize the things that you're looking at and to start telling a story. So then you can go into your closet and you can pick up something and you're like, hey, I haven't worn this in like, I don't know, a year. Well, I wonder why. Like, does it match my 3 words? Is it representing how I want to be seen right now? Maybe it does. And maybe you just don't know how to pair it together. And that's where someone like me comes in. Or maybe it doesn't. And it's time to like bless and release. Like grateful for what you served, in my closet, but like I don't need you anymore. I've evolved past you. So I think that's the best place to start. And then to actually create a closet that feels joyful, like and less overwhelming, So like let's remove some of the stuff that's no longer serving you. And then you're left with the things that really you love to wear. And then you can figure out like, okay, do I have mostly statement pieces that are not like playing nicely, quote unquote, like coordinating with all the other things that I have in my wardrobe? So that means, okay, I need to fill in some gaps. Maybe I need some classic basics, maybe I need a really good pair of jeans that I could wear every day, or I need some really cool white t-shirts or graphic tees to mix in with these awesome blazers that I have or whatever. Or maybe it's on the other end and you're like, gosh, I have like, it feels pretty boring in here, it's pretty bland. Maybe I need to I need to spice it up a little bit. And then that's where those words can come into play again. Like, oh, how do I incorporate these things? And so you can just start to play with your words and how you want to be seen. And you can start to bring that vision of who you are and the energy that you want to attract, the clients that you want to bring in, like the business that you want to create. You can start to bring that energy to life with the visuals that you're creating with your style. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, each of those scenarios that you just painted are big transitions, right? And we come out the other side like a totally changed human in some senses, right? And it is not necessarily a fast process for us to go from like one version of ourselves to the other. And so, yeah, I feel you. Like, what do we do in this like in between flux period? Well, I just really recommend following the joy. Like, wear the thing that brings you joy, like lights you up, and just continue to like follow that path, and eventually what you're going to have is a closet full of things that you really love, like the things that you really like to wear. And then you'll start to see a through line, and if it helps you can start to create, I do this with my clients too, I have them create a Pinterest board, and so they can actually visually see like the thread that they're weaving through the things that they like. So if we don't want to go out and buy a ton of things first, we want to actually I don't know, like let's see what the style thing looks like first. Let's see the kind of things that I want to be wearing. A great practice is to get on Pinterest and just like fall down the Pinterest rabbit hole. Like pin the things that you're excited to look at. Not don't think about like don't put a filter of like, oh my gosh, but what would my mom think of me in it? Or oh my God, like could I actually wear that? Or my body doesn't look good in that. Or like get rid of all of that and just pin the things that are exciting for you. Like, oh gosh, I love that. I love that. And then once you have a board full of things that you love, you can start to see in no matter what phase of life you are, oh, I'm really loving a more flowy silhouette. Maybe it's because you just had a baby, or maybe it's because it's the summer months, or maybe it's because you're feeling a little bit constricted in your business and you're looking to like break free. Like there's a lot of emotionality that comes in to what we're dressing and how how we're like putting these clothes on our body. And so it might feel more supportive in that season for you to have like loose and flowy things, but you wouldn't have known unless you took a moment to actually assess the things that are exciting to you, that bring you joy, or that maybe you want to try out. And so I think that's the best thing to do. And then once you see this through line, maybe just try it. You could do a rental. You could do Newly, or you could do Rent the Runway. You could maybe purchase just one outfit and try to mix it into your wardrobe. So there's lots of ways you can kind of dip your toe in the transition phase. Yeah. Yes. I love the permission. Permission for yourself absolutely all the time. Because you know what? I just think I think style is the ultimate expression permission tool, to be honest. I know for me, and I think this so beautifully relates to what your people are trying to create. They're trying to create more visibility, right? Like more elevated visibility. And I know for me as an entrepreneur, as I was doing that, I found like the best thing for me was to expand my capacity to receive that. And that was about giving myself the permission to be seen in general and by myself first and foremost. And so just allowing yourself to wear the red lipstick, or to to not be too precious about your clothes, because chances are that 80% or 90% of your wardrobe that you're not wearing, you're probably wearing it because you don't feel like your day or your life is special enough to wear that, like that silk or satin slip skirt, like, oh, I'm going to save it for something special. What if you started to treat yourself as like that special person every single day and you got to wear it, right? Like we make things less precious and we start to expand our capacity to receive that visibility that we're calling in, which is so cool. Mm. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is like so deep and so beautiful. Like you go in so many directions, but like there's two that I want to talk about. And so my first question would be, or my first, honestly, uh, like my first reaction is like, do like be authentic to yourself. Like we're not about creating like cookie cutter style molds, period. That's the difference between working with a stylist and following like a style influencers online, right? And And not all stylists create different looks, right? Like some of them specialize in one particular thing. For me, I align your inside with your outside. So it's really important for me to help you bring the authenticity out. So dang, if you're so comfortable in your leggings and your baggy t-shirt and you don't want to wear makeup and you're happy with your hair and a top knot, cool. Like that's great. Let's first find like the best leggings. Let's find like the best t-shirt quality that just makes you feel like you are rolling in luxury all day long. Like let's elevate your basics so you feel like the best version of yourself, like you don't have to wear that old t-shirt from like 5 years ago, right? If you want to, that's cool. We can make a cool band tee work too. But that's what I would say first. Like, do you actually feel like your best version of yourself in these clothes? Or are you just hiding? And I say it with so much love because I was there too. Like I would say my entire first year of entrepreneurship, when I took well, it wasn't the first year, but my first year online. When I took this business online, it is a whole different game to be visible in social media, to grow your business online. It is totally different because you're at home, you're so focused on growing your business. I did not look in the mirror for like a year, I swear, which is wild because I'm a stylist, right? But I didn't because my body was changing. I was hustling. I was not prioritizing my health. Like I didn't feel good in my clothes. I didn't feel good in my body. And I just kept throwing on those same leggings and that same t-shirt, like the same version of that t-shirt over and over again. And I didn't feel good in it. But I was like existing. And so it's like, are you just existing or are you hiding in plain sight in the clothes that you're wearing? So it's really about just seeing yourself more clearly without judgment. And if you find you're in that latter camp and you're like, yeah, like I'm doing the things, like, cause you can run a super successful business, right? And be wearing things that maybe don't like light your soul on fire yet, but what if you were? What if you did give yourself just a little bit more self love, like a little bit more consideration in the morning, a little bit more joy? Like you could tap into so many different things, which is so fun. A lot more permission to just express yourself. And then that trickles down into your marketing. That trickles down into the way that you structure your offers, the way that you communicate with your clients, like your branding visuals change, right? I'm sure you can see from like one person who's a little bit more inhibited to someone who's like uninhibited. And it's just a radical difference between someone who is maybe not that comfortable in their skin yet and someone who is like, whoa, this is me. See me. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's night and day in some cases. It really depends where you're starting. But I have some clients who come to me with already a very successful business, and then they make this small shift in their wardrobe and then show up to their brand shoot in a totally different way. And their business, it like triples. Then their email list explodes, like their opt-ins like go through the roof with ads. It's because we are meeting them first visually, right? Like we're a visual we're a visual people, and so we are constantly communicating. And that's another thing I want to say just really quickly about what you were talking about before, like people feeling wanting to feel authentic. Like you are authentically communicating something. Like, are you communicating the right thing? Like if you're always communicating, so if you are showing up a little bit like disheveled and a little bit like Heidi, like it's going to reflect in your brand and in your business. And so when you then show up so powerfully in clothes that you like, it's not even it's not even always about the clothes. And I say that as a stylist. It is about the confidence that is exuding from the inside out. I call it embodying your niche because you truly just become this, like this version of yourself that just is so true and so authentic to who you are so that you don't question like if you're showing up on stories without makeup, you're not up in your head about your worthiness to be seen because I feel like the best version of myself at every version of myself. And your clothes are really just a tool to help you feel that. Yeah, absolutely. So like the cool part is that you've already said yes to yourself. Like you've already said yes to showing up for your business and to like expressing more of you, your personal brand, getting personal with your personal brand online. So now we're just coming in and we're kind of like bumping up the level a little bit more, right? We're making it so that your photos feel of like evergreen expressions of who you are. Like I'm really not about putting you in like the latest trendiest thing. I'm really about helping you define your signature founder style so that when you have these photos from WorkPlay, you feel like there's something that can live on your website or live on your landing pages or become something like that you're really proud to show off for a long time to come because they feel like a good representation of you. And so tangibly what we get is we get a capsule wardrobe of clothes that you can wear for your brand photo shoot and beyond, right? So you have tried and true pieces like outfit formulas that we've created together for you to wear for your shoot day that are just so easy for you to get ready for that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to lift a finger shopping. That's my job. And I just send you all of the amazing pieces directly to a digital catalog that you can just click. And it's for your brand, it's for your body, it's for your budget. It's all tailored to you. So like it becomes so simple and so easy. Then you end up with pieces that you're so excited to wear for the photo shoot. And now you can wear them for your life beyond, like you can continue showing up every day on social media. You can mix and match them for later shoots or whatever, depending on your personality, your desire for your wardrobe, whether it be super classic or eclectic and fun or really bold and like bright colors, it just depends. And so we can make it your own, which is so awesome. It really does, right? I mean, I think that probably people have found you because they've had like bad experiences with brand shoots before. I know I have, right? And it's like you you get these brand photos back and your outfit was not what you want it to be because you waited till like the 11th hour to run out to Target to get something that maybe like vaguely resembled your brand color because you're like, oh shoot, I need that. And so it's not well thought out. I know we all are, right? Because we're busy and we're entrepreneurs. Like, you don't have the bandwidth to think about your style in that way. And you also don't maybe necessarily have like the resources at your fingertips that I would, right? Or the different brands that I know about, or different like fits and fabrics. Like, I know how things fit because I've done it with so many people over and over again, you know? And yeah, you're right. Like the cohesion, weaving that line, and honestly, like walking the line of on brand and brand colors can be really tricky for some people, right? Like if you have a set of brand colors, that is a beautiful thing. But you do not need to wear only your brand colors in every shot. It in fact gets pretty boring to look at. We want to create something that is visually so interesting and dynamic. I like to think of an outfit as being complex, like not complicated, but like complex. So like multiple layers with like color, texture, shine, different shapes and silhouettes. We want to make sure that it's fun to look at. And also for a shoot, when I'm coming into it, I'm thinking, how can we get versatility and variety from each look? And so I'm adding layers like a jacket or a hat, things that they can easily take off and do like a couple photos. And so you get a lot more shots that way that can, that can just be really useful for you when you're creating content. Yeah. Mm. Yes. Uh-huh. And so I think the important thing is that it should always be on brand. Um, and I hear you when you're saying like a themed shoot, but there's a fine line between like feeling like you're showing up in a costume and feeling like you're an expression of your highest self, which is what these theme shoots really are. Like if we are, I'm thinking of, and I think you guys did Kate Northrup's video shoot where she was in like the fringy, like fun dresses, right? Like that is a very themey vibe, but it felt like Kate because of the way that she moved and the way that the clothes moved with her. Like it was more dressy than she would be maybe every day when she would be wearing, but it is a version of who she is. And so I think that's really important to first find the through line of the person because you're not going to put like you wouldn't put someone who was really comfortable in maybe like an elevated luxury in like a bright flamingo pink dress, even if their branding was going to be like hot pink and like poppy. You would put them in something that was going to be more sophisticated. Maybe it would be that color, but the lines would be different. The material would maybe be like silky. It would be like a more subtle draping versus like feathers and sequins and like rhinestones and like fringe. So it definitely still needs to carry the embodiment of their niche, the embodiment of their brand, which is where their signature founder style comes in. So yes, we totally do it. And it is my favorite thing to bring their highest self to life. I pitched this outfit to a woman that I was helping with her brand shoot. And gosh, it was so much fun. So all of the outfits we were planning up until this point were like very beautiful looks, but like she could easily, walk out into the world and wear them. And this one that I pitched was this emerald green. It was a sheer mesh robe, like Hollywood glamour with thick feather sleeves and thick feather trim. And it was a scary thing to pitch. I was like, I don't know, it just feels like you. It just feels like it wants to come out and play. And she was like, Trish, literally, when I meditate as my highest self, this is how I see myself in this exact outfit. I was like, stop it. Stop it right now. So, but we made it her. Like, we paired it with her Gucci sneakers that was like a through line throughout her entire shoot. And we paired it we didn't make it too costumey. We put a neutral slip dress underneath it. So it looked like really elevated and really glamorous, where it can totally go in a more playful direction one way or the other. Yeah. Yes, I love that. Yeah, I will definitely outline just how it goes. So you're welcome to book a call with me. Like, let's connect. I know that styling is a really intimate experience, so I make sure that my calendar is open for my WorkPlay family. So like, let's connect. And I love to see your face, and I want to catch your vibe, and I know you want to catch mine too. So like, let's hang out. Then from that point, we want to make sure that we have at least 4 weeks before your photo shoot in order to like get to know each other. I want to make sure that I'm capturing the vision of who you are, the brand, and how you want to be seen, and the vision that you're casting, right, for your business over the next like session with WorkPlay and beyond. I also want to make sure that I can tap into your 3 words, help you discover your founder style. Let's create a Pinterest board together. So we're doing all of that kind of style discovery work in the first week. And then I come back to you with a digital catalog that's perfectly curated to you. So I send that over to you. You shop, click, order. So simple. It comes right to your home. And then we are connected through Voxer the entire time. So as things start to arrive, we could schedule a session to try it all on together. But most people, they're just really excited when everything arrives. They send me Voxer messages as soon as the boxes start rolling in. So that it's just such a fun, joyous experience to have like to have like an honest friend with you basically in the fitting room, like you're not worried. There's no other like agenda, like none of that. I'm here for you to support your vision. And so the reason I like 4 weeks is just in case something arrives and doesn't fit quite right, or maybe it's just not hitting the mark exactly the way you want it to. I'll send you a new set of links so that you can bring them in. And so we have a little bit of time to mix and match and play around with things. And then once we nail down the things that you're bringing into your wardrobe, I will create a lookbook for you of outfits that you can bring on your shoot and wear even after your shoot. Hmm. Oh my gosh, I love that. I really just think have fun, right? Like have fun, take deep breaths in your shoot. Like just know like your photographer is there, like you're being held. I can remember back to my first shoots, and I can remember how oh, like cringy it felt to be in front of the camera, for the first few times. And like, oh gosh, am I standing the right way? Am I smiling too big? Like, did I pick the right outfit? That sort of thing. So what I can say is just have fun. Like let your personality show. Like let your amazing expert photographer just capture all of the magic that you are just naturally going to exude when you are just in your most authentic space. And so if you need to I tell some of my clients or my style coaching clients, like, write yourself a little love note before the shoot and like read it, like give yourself this like positive affirmation, like show yourself some radical self-love before you go in. And gosh, the difference is just so beautiful. And then you just start to get so comfortable, your walls come down. I also think this is just like a fun style tidbit. I would wear your favorite outfit first, because it's going to give you that boost of confidence, that like jolt of excitement, that first outfit. Oh my God, I feel so good. It may take a second for like, to like the ice to melt a little bit. We're going to get a good playlist on and you're going to be in your best outfit and it's just going to set the tone for the rest of the day. Oh, thank you so much. It's been so fun chatting with you and supporting them. I can't wait.